Our story begins in 2010. 2010 was my sophomore year of college, and I just broke up with my first love. So what do? On Valentine's Day, I decided to give Valentine's to everyone. That way, I didn't have to feel so alone. I was so depressed at this time. This was an extremely toxic relationship, and it put me in the worst place I'd ever been in my life. I may be smiling in these photos, but I was just trying to push through. I just thought I could not move forward. So I focused my time into hanging out with friends, going out, having a good time, and starting to learn that life can go on. You don't have to revolve your life around somebody else. I literally had no idea where my life was going. I had switched my major to journalism. I decided I'd focus on a dream that I had to be a journalist, a dream that I had kind of put behind me, and a dream to just love myself more and be more confident. 2011, the year I turned 21. I had so much fun with my friends, and I went to Vegas for the first time. I started out working to have a positive mental state, like putting these positive post-its on my wall. I started attracting these crazy, awesome experiences into my life, like meeting McLovin and partying with him and Dave Franco for the night with my friends. I started realizing that there was some sort of manifestation, but I didn't really know what that was yet. Also this year, I got my tonsils taken out. There's all the medication I had to take. But on a good note, it's the year I started my blog, Dose of Bliss. It started as a school project, and I wanted to find out more about manifesting. And this is where it all started. And this is the year I started my YouTube channel, so yay, finally, we got video in this year. After being so depressed last year, I was taking no prisoners. I got 3 internships working for Pop Chips, the local ABC channel, and then at the end of the year, I got to work for Kiss FM in Chicago. I was on a mission. This year was the year of hustle. I was taking back what's mine. 2012, that was the year I flipped an egg. Seriously, one of the best moments of my life. Did you know when you go to those Japanese restaurants, you can actually ask to flip an egg? Well, I did, and this is what happened. This honestly was one of the best moments ever, and it just proves when you ask, you receive. But in all seriousness, 2012 was one of the best years for me. I graduated college, I won a few awards for my journalism, and during the school year, I actually made a documentary on YouTube stars. I didn't even know how to pick up and turn on a camera the year before. We even had Issa Rae in it from HBO's Insecure. This documentary that I made all these years ago led me to meeting my now boyfriend, who at the time was YouTuber Keep the Heat. He asked me to be in his music video the day we met. Look, there I am in it. Isn't that crazy? The choices you make can completely change your life, and this is proof of it. All these people in this video became my friends when I moved to LA. By the way, I moved to LA in 2012. This is also the year I discovered what the law of attraction was and started practicing it, which makes sense that all this came true. And 2012 is when I got hired for my dream job as an entertainment reporter for a major magazine. I went to every red carpet, including the Oscars and the Grammys. And not to mention, I got to see George Clooney sing Sweet Caroline with Neil Diamond. Who gets to do that? This is the year that I finally believed that what we manifest and believe in our hearts does come true. Hey guys, so guess where I am right now? This is the year I got to ride on a private jet for the first time. I got to experience some of the perks of being an entertainment reporter, and I put my time and energy into my career. This was a huge year for career growth. I got promoted from a freelance reporter to a full-time reporter and got cover story after cover story. I worked so hard this year. There were some weekends that I worked 60 hours in 3 days, but I decided this is the year that I'm going to live my life to the fullest. I'm going to make a name for myself in this business and check everything off my bucket list, from roller skating with Katy Perry to interviewing the Backstreet Boys, which, by the way, was my very first concert at 7 years old. And back then I told myself I didn't want to be a part of the audience. And this year I realized that I wasn't part of the audience. This year was all about checking everything off my bucket list and working as hard as I could.
Are you making a video?
Yeah.
Am I on it right now?
Yeah, you're on right now.
Hi.
2014 was the year that I realized working that hard was not sustainable. So I decided to dedicate this year to taking care of myself and to making sure I traveled and hung out with friends. The best part of this year was a trip I took to Hawaii with my now boyfriend, Alex Negrete. He was not my boyfriend then, although other people thought that we were. We just went as friends, and it was so much fun. We met these people in Hawaii. They were so nice. And the whole ride to their house, I kept saying, I hope they have a bonfire pit. I hope they have a bonfire pit. And they had a bonfire pit. Manifestation? I think so. This is the year my best friend got married. I got to stand up in my first wedding. And I just realized this year, work isn't everything. You have to take some time to have a little fun too.
I got you guys a little lottery ticket, and today happens to be the drawing for the Mega Millions. So the numbers are being drawn tonight. If you don't win, I just want to say that you guys have already won because you guys have each other. But if you do win, I just want you to remember who bought you that ticket.
2015 was the year I quit my job. I quit being a full-time reporter, and I was completely lost. So I made my first vision board. This is where it all started. I started working on my YouTube channel again. I decided I was going to take a year off and just have fun and relax for once. I was hanging out with friends again.
Yeah. Woo!
And I started dating Alex. Other things on my vision board started manifesting now that I had more time to pursue them. I threw an event at VidCon for YouTube stars. I had no plan to ever do that. We threw one of the biggest parties VidCon's ever seen. I went on vacation, I traveled, and I kind of just took the year to dabble in whatever I felt like dabbling in. This is the year I learned to not identify myself with a career, only identify with who you are on the inside. That's something no one can take away from you. "2016 was the year that I thought maybe I could be my own boss. I threw that VidCon event again because it started to become a business. We even had Aaron Carter perform at it. It was amazing. And then I had free time that I had not had ever before. So Alex surprised me on a trip to go to Barcelona, and little did he know, and little do you guys probably know, is I originally went to school for design, and Barcelona has the best architecture. It's a place I always wanted to go. That was on my vision board. This was the year I realized that maybe you don't have to go on the path that you thought you had to go on. Just go. "2017, the year I accepted working from home and just started enjoying life.
High five.
Dude, I don't know. Oh my god!
By the way, this video is in Thailand.
How did I know that? Did you get a video?
I started traveling, like this video is in Sedona, Arizona, and just like working on being a blogger and thinking, if I were to own my own business, how do I do it? How would my life look? Could we base our jobs off of the lifestyle we wanted to live? I just figured, why not? I might as well try. I started putting visiting family first and my health first.
Hi, Alex and I are in Chicago for the holiday.
Maybe there was a way that I could somehow be a blogger, be a journalist, and own my own business and still work from home. This is the year I really contemplated that. I might look like I'm traveling and doing all these things, but I'm also preparing a plan in my mind. I went to Seattle and made my first travel vlog. I stopped my fear of just getting out my camera in public and making a video and doing what I wanted. I started remembering what it's like to live from a place of love and adventure instead of fear, and a whole universe opened up for me. And just one last thing, don't be afraid to make a detour in life. You might just go to a bathroom stop and meet the cutest prairie dogs in the world. So 2017 taught me, just go for it. Cheers to 2018, the year that I decided I was going to try to put everything together. I was focusing on my friends, travel, and I even started another event business called Mashup LA.
Event called Mashup LA, and right now we are in the swag bag room. There's Alex.
Hey.
I still deep down had no idea exactly what I wanted to do with my life, but this is the year that I was just like, we're going to go for it. We're going to try and hopefully end up somewhere.
Hey Internet, Brady Gentile here, filling in for Lindsay.
I visited some old college friends in Washington, D.C., and at the same time planned my third VidCon event. I know it looks like I was traveling, but remember, I had committed to working from home, so even if I was traveling with friends, I was still working. As much of this year that I often doubted myself, I knew that I just wanted to live my life to the fullest and focus on the things that really matter. As insecure as sometimes I felt and where I didn't know my life was going, I remembered the most important part. I deep down really was living my dream life, and at the core, I was happy. 2019, the year it finally all came together. I finally started to go confidently in the direction of my dreams. I got my own show, Dose of Bliss. I stopped sitting around and wishing my life to be different. I got super sick this year, focused on my health. I got accepted into the YouTube Partner Program. Created my own LLC and officially got my event, Mashup LA, off the ground. I moved in my dream condo that was on my vision board with my boyfriend. I was a bridesmaid at my best friend's wedding, and it was just so beautiful to see her so happy. I got to go to Mexico and experience love at another beautiful wedding, and it just reminded me how far I'd come in the past 10 years, from surviving a broken heart and thinking I couldn't go forward, to becoming a reporter, to owning my own business, to falling in love again and just really falling in love with myself and finding out who I really truly was inside and being confident to be that person. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it inspires you to see how far you've come this decade. And I think you'll see, just like me, you've achieved a lot more than you ever thought you would.